Welcome to the Called to Publish workshop. I am so excited to see you all here. Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself as we're going to be waiting for some people to come in. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Let us know where you're from. Unmute yourself. I see Earl. Good to see you, Earl.
Yes.
Good to see you, my friend. I'm looking for some more. Yeah, I see Devon. If y'all want to get these beautiful faces up on my screen. Guys, good to see y'all. I see Angie. I see Pat. Guys, welcome. Let me know in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself. Let me know where you are calling in from. Hey,
Rural
Angie.
Illinois.
Illinois. Welcome, Illinois. Hey, Brandy.
Georgia.
Calhoun, Louisiana.
All right, Louisiana.
Sarasota, Florida.
Florida, beautiful. I see Angie.
Baldwinsville, New York.
New York. I see Texas, Houston, Dallas, Philly. Welcome, everybody.
San Francisco Bay Area.
Atlanta, Georgia. Pat, I heard that. Welcome, Pat.
San Francisco Bay Area.
Hey, awesome. Welcome. I'm here in Atlanta, too. I'm here in Florida. Yo,
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yes. South Dakota. That's where we're from, too. Welcome, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Was that
Missouri?
You, Angie?
San Francisco Bay Area.
Well, welcome, San Francisco Bay Area. Atlanta, I'm here in Oregon, Tennessee.
Chicago.
Yes.
Missouri.
Now, y'all, let's get a competition going here. We're going to give folks about 1 or 2 more minutes to come on here. Guys, I want to let you know, I'm going to get warmed up here a little bit with you, because what I'm going to be doing is teaching. I haven't ever done this teaching like we're going to do today ever. I've been in publishing for 14 years, so I'm not like a webinar kind of a guy. I'm a teacher, and that's what I want to do. So y'all, give me a why in the chat if you feel like God is calling you to publish a book. Give me a why. Let me know. Give me some energy right now. I want to know if you are feeling like, because guys, I say this because, yeah, all right, Crystal. All right, I see you, Earl. Y'all, I'm saying this because this isn't like a pitch. That's not like a one-liner. Literally, I've been in publishing for 14 years. We're going to publish our 500th book probably this year. And almost every single conversation that I have starts with, I feel like God is calling me to do this. I feel like God is calling me to go in this direction, and I don't quite know what that means, but I want to figure that out, and I know a book is going to be part of that process. Guys, how many of you feel that right now? You feel like you don't, and everybody's going to kind of start in a different way. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm fired up. Y'all, keep letting me know. Y'all, I see a lot of whys. I see Angie. I see Charlie. I see Pat. I see you, Elaine Alexander. Okay, guys, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I want to thank you for coming on here. I sincerely appreciate it. You're going to see some people from my team here. So my name is Jeremy Brown, and I am the CEO of Throne Publishing Group. We hail from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You're going to see, I'm going to bring my wife up here really quick. This is a family business, guys. This is my beautiful wife, Brooke Brown. She's right here with me in the office. If we were going to make this really good, we'd have her come on, okay? So thanks for being here, sweetheart. She is in the chat, guys. Feel free to ask Brooke. You're going to see some people from our team. They got TPG in front of their name. We have Katie, we have Allie, we have Meredith, we have Brooke. They're all from our team. Yeah, you guys wave. We call them the Formidable Four because they're our leadership team, and they're phenomenally talented. Y'all, ask them questions, DM them. They're going to be here answering you. If you need any support, like if you need some tech support or something, reach out to one of those folks. They are going to let you know. They're going to help you through this, okay? So guys, here's what we're going to be doing. I see we've got a pretty good amount of people on here right now. There's still some more folks coming in, but we're going to get right into this. Y'all, thank you for your time. You could be doing anything right now, and you are here with us. So I want to make this next 60 minutes as much value as I possibly can give you. And that's what I'm really here to do. I'm here to teach you guys. So y'all are here because you feel like you're called to publish a book. And so many people, you're going to be in different stages. Some of you, it's just the idea stage of, I've got a couple of ideas. I know I want to write a book. I'm feeling the call and I want to do it, but you're still in the idea phase. Totally great. Welcome here. Some of you are writing right now. you're writing, and whether you have just started your manuscript, whether you are almost finished with your manuscript, whether you're saying, I need an editor, I need to know what's next, you are going to get some value from this too. And you might have written a couple of books already, and you're wondering, what's going to be my second, my third, my fourth book? Y'all, anywhere that you're at right now in the publishing process, in the writing process, I want to speak right into you. I want to help you as much as I possibly can in the next 60 minutes. So if you're in any one of those stages, this webinar is for you, okay? So here's my promise to you. I am going to be really interactive. I'm going to be asking you questions. I want to encourage you, be active in the chat, because I got you all right in front of me here. So I'm going to be looking around. All your faces are right in front of me because I'm here for you. I'm going to be reacting and interacting with you because I want to get you what you need. I'm going to get you what you came here for. And we're going to end. I'm going to do Q&A probably until people just leave. So we're going to have an ending to this, but I'm going to stay as long as y'all are here because I want to answer all your questions, okay? So y'all, let me know. You're published by God to write a book. Let me know in the chat, how long have you felt this calling in your life? How long have you felt this call? And I want to share a little bit of my story with you just really quick, and we're going to get right into content. So if you have a pen and a pad, I'm going to ask you to write a few things down as we're going through here because we're going to make some progress together, okay? I'm going to teach, you're going to learn, but I want to help you make some progress. If you've been in any part of our groups at Throne, you know we're about progress. That's how we ultimately measure the effectiveness of our training. It's how much progress we can help you make. So again, I want to thank you. I want to welcome you if you're just coming on. We're going to dive right into this. Guys, here's my quick story. So I've been in publishing for 14 years. We've published hundreds of books. I've coached and talked to thousands of authors from over 20 countries around the world. And I've noticed patterns as to, number one, why some authors win and why some authors don't. Why some authors finish their book, why some authors just start. And I've also noticed the work of the Holy Spirit, the pattern of God in people's lives that helps us know when an idea is ready to be acted on and when a story is ready to be told. And I'm going to give you that model today. It took us literally, my wife and I, 14 years to make this model. I've never really brought it forward to the public like I'm doing right now. This is a first for us here. I'm a little nervous, but I'm doing this for you guys. So y'all are giving me some strength, and I am here to teach you these things. So here, let me give you a little bit of a background. I didn't start in publishing. I was in my early 20s, and like every early 20-year-old, I thought, I've got so much experience, so much wisdom, I should really write a book. You know, I'm 24 years old. I owe it to the world, right? I'm being completely sarcastic. But I was in my 20s, and I said, I had a sales consulting company, and I was a single dad. I took care of my son during the day. I was the daycare, and then I would literally, guys, do sales presentations with my kid on my hip. I would be doing sales calls before Zoom was a thing. I'd be doing them. You all remember when we did them over the phone and stuff? I'd be flipping pancakes. My son would be on my hip, and I'd have a headset on. I thought I had arrived, right? And so I went to write a book. There was a problem though. I didn't know how to write. The last document that I wrote before that book was in college, and I had to write a 300-word article. And the last paragraph of that article said, very sarcastically, I hope you enjoyed reading this as much as I enjoyed writing it. Thank you very, 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 and I'd vary 20 sometimes to get to 300. That was my last publication before my first book. Now, here's what I did. I sat down to write it. I went to a coffee shop, not too far from the office I'm in here, and I went to write, and I was like, I'm just going to get this thing done in the weekend, but I realized, like, I can talk about things, I can share things, but when it comes to typing it out, I couldn't really figure it out. There was a short between the keyboard and the chair. Y'all know what that was? That was me. So here's what I did, guys. I just solved my own problem. I figured out a way to write quickly. I made my book into an interview. I'm going to show you how that's done. I wrote my book in a weekend. I wasn't a writer. I got it out there. And then I reverse engineered the publishing industry because I didn't want to go to a big publisher because it didn't make any sense to me. Why would I give you my product for a little bit of money in return and then you get the royalties forever? It didn't make a lot of business sense to do a publishing deal. So I published my own book by myself. I went and figured it out. I published that book, you guys. And here's what happened. My business went from a local business doing business in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I had clients in over 20 countries in under a year. And not only that, people started to ask me like, hey, how did you do this? Because they must have thought, how did this kid pull this thing off? He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. They wanted to know, okay? But I told them, here's what I did. And they just started to ask me, would you do that for us? Would you write a book for us? Would you publish a book for us? And I said, sure. Publishing a book changed my life. If I can make a business out of that, I'll do that. And I'll learn from these folks. Guys, that's what got me into publishing. And now what I've done is I would interview people and I would write the book. And now we have a bunch of writers, all that. The business has really evolved. But I've interviewed over 500 people in which the interview lasted over 8 hours or longer. And I've noticed patterns in people's lives. I'm going to give you this thing, and I'm going to give you the starting point that all authors start with. So, y'all, whether you're just getting started, whether you don't even know where to begin, whether you're writing and you're like, okay, what's next? Whether you're on your second or third book, here's where we start with every author. Now, let me know if y'all can relate to this. I'm going to be able to make sure you guys can see this right here. Guys, here's where authors start. How many can you relate? Does your mind ever feel this way? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Guys, give me a why if your mind has ever felt this way. You see, all these dots, they represent, yes, thank you. Y'all, I'm that way. We all get that way, okay? So if you're feeling this way about your book, even about the calling on your life, that's a great place to start. You're starting in a great place. You're in the right place. That's okay, all right? This is where every author starts. Every dot represents an idea. Every dot represents a story. Every dot represents a direction you could take your book, a speech you could create using your book. All these dots represent different options for you. How many of y'all feel overwhelmed? Raise your hand if you feel overwhelmed about the amount of options that you have. Y'all okay? I see you guys out there. I know what that's like. I mean, so there's a lot of options. And guess what? Here's the thing. God will fill up your cup to the degree you're ready to receive it. And the degree that we're ready to receive the things God wants to bring into our life is equivalent to the knowledge that we have and our ability to act on what He brings to us. Our ability to handle it. The structure, the ideas, the type of person we are, the capacity we have to handle those things. He's not going to overwhelm you. Now, we can feel overwhelmed, though, because y'all got a lot of options, right? Y'all let me know, like, here's where we start. If y'all are starting there, this is good. Now, here's the thing. If you still have everything done, if your book's done, if your manuscript's done even, this is still where a lot of authors start with their strategy. Now, here's how we piece this thing together, okay? We're going to start to connect these dots because the dots of your life may seem like they're all scattered over the place, but guess what? Like God has been setting you up. It seems like they might feel like this, but we're going to connect these dots because they connect. All right, y'all? Here is the first way. We're going to start to connect these dots. All right? The first connection point is going to be assets. The assets, y'all, is not like your 401k. That matters. Like you got some cash to throw in the game. I'm not talking about just that, though. I'm talking about your life experiences, the wisdom God has forged in your life. I'm talking about even the technicalities right down to, I've got a phone, I've got a computer. Y'all, I built my first publishing company from $0 to $500,000 with a phone and a computer. Those are assets. What do we have to work with right now? And we tend to overlook what God has put right in front of us because we're looking to the future. I do this. Can y'all relate? I look, where is it? Out here. He wants us to look around us first. This is where we start with authors. What do you have? What assets do you have? What resources do you already have around you? And we need to look back to discern where we're going to go forward. Y'all see, here's the thing. When we feel like, I feel like God is calling me to go this way, we have a tendency to look into the future first. Okay, and that's good, and there's a time for that. But what is even more powerful, what will help you to discern where He's taking you next is by looking back first. You look back, and you're going to see patterns. You're going to see people He has placed in your life. We're going to talk about this stuff right now. People He's placed in your life, events He has walked you through that were good and really, really, really bad. And He can use all of that. And He wants to use all of that. He wants to use your mess, just like He's used my mess. okay? He wants to use it all. That's part of your assets that you are bringing to the table. You are an asset. Your life is valuable. Your stories, your content, your ideas are extremely valuable. And God will forgive it all in a second, and he wants to still use it. Y'all, can I get an amen for that one? Anybody feeling me on this one? Give me some feedback, okay? I want to see some chat here. I see Crystal's amen. You know, Crystal, welcome. Earl, this is great. Susie, Alfred, are you feeling this, folks? All right? The first place you start is your assets. Don't overlook this. Do not overlook it. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to y'all right here. We're going to do some work. The next dots that we're going to connect are goals. Now, here's what I mean by this. Goals for you. You should identify your top 3 goals. And guys, it's okay. You can be a little selfish here, all right? We need to know, when I'm working with an author, I need to know, what do you want to get out of this? What does your family need? Like, what kind of lifestyle do you want to have? What are your top 3 goals? A lot of you want to become more credible. You want to become the authority figures. You want to be known as somebody who is out there, a speaker, a minister, a CEO, whatever that is. You want to be known. What are the goals that you're going to use to measure your success? You need to know, how are you going to define success, okay? Your 3 goals. And usually that comes down to, here's how I'm going to use my content and my testimony. It also comes down to, here's what I want this book to set up for me. I want to be able to do workshops. I want to be able to do my own webinars. I want y'all to be doing your webinars and not showing up to mine after this. You want to be doing your webinars. Your book can help you get to that place. You want to have coaching programs, mentorship programs. All those things go into your goals for your book, okay? Now, here's the second part that a lot of authors miss. And this is like beats in our heart at Throne. This is why we're doing this thing. We move through our discomfort. It's, you want to know your readers' goals, your people. Y'all, here's the thing. God doesn't call us to do a thing. He calls us to a people. And according to what the people need, determines what we do. All right, y'all? He doesn't just call you to do something. He calls you to a people. And if you look at the people, you think about the people, you understand what your people need, what they want, what they desire, what they fear. You get into their mind, you get into their heart, because your heart beats for them. You guys want to publish a book? I want to help you just about as bad. What are your readers' top 3 goals? What do you want to help them get to? All right? That's the goals piece. Y'all getting this? So you want to have your top 3 goals. You want to have your people's top 3 goals. That's super important. All right? Now here's the next thing. Community. Okay? Community. Now this is defining the community you're going to go build. You're going to build a tribe. So these people who have these goals, you want to know, who is my community? Who are my people? Lord, who are you calling me to? And guys, you want to be super niche with this in the beginning. You want to know exactly the kind of person that you feel called to support, to serve, that you're writing for. You want to define your reader, and we're going to come back to this too. You want to define your audience, your community, right down to the details of what are they going through right now. Not only just what are their problems, what are the words they use to describe their problems. Y'all, if you see this book, I don't know if we can see it right back here, this book, Get It Done. I wrote this book, Get It Done. It's absolutely nowhere. You're not going to find it online. It's not available on Amazon. It's absolutely nowhere. This book has generated 7 figures for our business through some strategies I'm going to teach you, but I called it Get It Done because that was the mantra of our people. They'd be telling me, like, Jeremy, I just need to get this book done. Like, I feel like God's calling me to do this. I just need to get it done. Y'all want to know the words your people use to describe the problems they have? The number one way to go about doing that is being with your people. Being with them, walking with them, seeing them in their pain, seeing them in their victories. And you guys will find this. Your people will embolden you to do things you would not do for yourself. Your people will motivate you and inspire you to sacrifice in your life in ways you never would have if you did not have a love for them, because God's going to give you a love for these people. I don't know you guys, but I love you guys. Okay, I'm thrilled you're even showing up here. It makes me elevate myself. Y'all want to know your community, okay? Now here's the next thing. I'm going to write it a little bit weird. Brand. Now here's what I mean by this. A brand simply is the promises you're going to make to the market. Now we're going to talk about a way that people don't think of brand, but the first way is the promises you're making to your readers. Have your top 3 promises you're going to make. In other words, when I read your book, what is going to be my experience? If I hear you speak, what's going to be my experience of you? How are you going to be with me? And what are your promises, the value proposition you're making from an exchange with you? Okay? In other words, you're saying, this is what I'm going to do for you guys. This is what I represent. This is who I am. That's the promises you're making to the market. Now, here's the next part. This is what most people overlook, but this is where it all is, you guys. You could do everything else wrong, and you do this right. Here's the thing. The top 3 promises you're going to make to yourself. This is who I am going to be under all circumstances. When things get hard, this is how I'm going to be. When I'm in a sticky situation, when I'm working with somebody I don't necessarily like, this is how I'm going to handle that. The top 3 promises you make to yourself is your own leadership. It's a state of being you commit to under any circumstance you walk into. This is who I am. This is who I show up as under all circumstances. This is why people are going to work with you guys. The value proposition is great, but people are going to work with you and decide to work with you because of who you are. People are going to read your book when they see you at a speaking event because of who you are. You don't need to pretend to be anybody. Be yourself. God made you exactly, your life exactly how he did right up until now. And by you totally owning, this is who I am, this is my voice, this is my identity, you're going to ring true with other people. It's going to ring true with them. Honesty makes people move. Honesty creates action in other people. You're not going to get a show from me here because I know that doesn't work, but also like that's a lot of effort. I'm literally sharing with you guys every time I sit down with an author, this is what we go through with them every single time. I'm not going to hold anything back because I can't think like that. We're just doing. Y'all want to know your brand. At Throne, we call them convictions. Values are what's important to you. Convictions are what you sacrifice for. We have convictions we would sacrifice for when we do every single day. 2 of them, I'll tell you this, are truth and honor. We publish books that are true. Somebody who has walked the walk. No theory. They've walked the walk, been there, done that. It's totally true. We do not compromise on the truth. And then honor. We have to publish books that honor God and honor everybody involved. And so I often hear this of like, hey, if I say this, it might ruffle some feathers with some people. Well, here's how we do this. We want to say things that are true, and we want to do that in a way that honors everybody involved. And if we can't do that, we don't say it. Truth and honor, they're convictions. It's part of our brand. It's who we are. So guys, this is a deeper brand. It's an identity. And if you don't have them right now, like go to the Throne website and use our convictions. They're right on the website. Just use ours, copy ours, and then you'll create your own. All of ours are based on Scripture, 100% biblical. All right, you guys, here's the next piece of the puzzle here, okay? The next piece is mission. Mission, calling, purpose, whatever it is, it's saying, this is the direction God is calling me down. This is what gets me out of bed in the morning. And your mission statement is about a who, and it's about what you're going to do for that who. It's all about your people. I can't say it enough. God calls you to a people, and according to what your people need, determines what you do. So the question isn't like, Lord, how am I going to do this? Where do I go? How do I do this? Lord, who are you calling me to serve? And then you guys, you go into the market and serve them. I'm going to give you one quick example of this, okay? This is why I believe this so much. I would like stamp my approval, my guarantee on anything if you're going to do this. Here it is. And I tell all my kids this. I have 4 sons. I'm telling them all this. This is how, if you want to know who God's calling you to, what God's calling you to do, here's what you do. So go back several years. 10 years? I don't know how many years now. A lot of years back, okay? I'm doing publishing, and guess what, guys? The convictions you see on our site, I did not care about any of those. The one thing I cared about was, if you have the money to pay me, I'll do your book. I'll do that work for you. I didn't care. I wanted to do the most amount of business with the most amount of people, the fastest amount of time. It was very transactional. Now, I could get it done. Me and my team, I had offices in San Diego, Arizona, New York, and South Dakota. We got things done. It was transactional. But here's the thing. I had no soul to me at that time. And what I had to go through was I had a partner who embezzled a bunch of money from my company. So I lost all the money I had. I lost the business I had. I lost the woman I thought I was going to marry. She dumped me, y'all, and I couldn't get her back. Couldn't convince her. I couldn't make any amount of money. I couldn't do any amount of things to solve the problems I had, and it made me go, what? I'm not that great at life. This is more than business. I'm not that great at life. I better figure this out. And there was a church in town that I started going to. They had 6 services a week. I went to every service every week for almost a year. And I said, okay, I read this piece of scripture, a John Eldridge book, and he quoted Exodus 15:3, which says, the Lord is a warrior. I'd never heard that before. The only pictures I had ever seen of Jesus was he was this dude with babies and lambs and stuff, and I thought, I don't want to be like that. You know, he was such a wimp. They just finally nailed him to a cross and killed him. Now, that's not the way he is, but that's what I thought of him as. All right? So I thought of him that way. He meant nothing to me. Now, I learned the Lord as a warrior. I said, okay, dude, if this is the way you are, I want to know everything about you. So here's what I did, guys. Without knowing that I was doing this, I said, you got my whole life. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to publish books, but I'm just going to make the bare amount of money. I'm not going to have a vision. I'm not going to have any goals, and I'm just going to do whatever you send my way. And I lived this way for about a year and a half. And what I did is I just started mentoring young dudes because young dudes started showing up in my life. 18 plus years old, total train wrecks, just like me. Addicts, drug dealers. I mean, you name it, you guys. I literally saw everything you can think of. And for a year and a half, I just walked the streets with these dudes. I would always have a group of crazy dudes running around with me because I would say, hey, listen, you're a mess. So am I. Let's try to figure this thing out together. Here's what I know. The Lord is a warrior. He will make a man out of you. And that's how it all got started. Guys, in that process, as I was just focused on those people, those guys, I didn't count them. I wasn't taking selfies with them. I didn't care about anything. I was saying, Lord, I want to know who you are and who you made me to be. And I'm either going to keep asking you until you tell me to stop asking or you tell me the answer. And he did both. But in that process, God made me a different human being. I would have not asked to be the way I am right now. Because of I went into scripture, I went into prayer, I just went all in for the Lord and I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll do whatever you send my way to do. And I'll tell you, like, the moment that I knew I was just a different person and I didn't make myself this way, I was at a CEO's office. Okay, so my dream in publishing was to publish a $1 billion CEO and to fly all around the country in his jets with him and do book launches, okay? So I'm with that $1 billion CEO, and we're in his office, and he goes, Jeremy, you know, I have 7 private jets, and we could go all over the country and do book launches. And I thought, okay, well, that's cool. And I left his office, and in the parking lot of that building that very day, this young guy calls me who was addicted to gambling, and he had disappeared. When they did that, I know, like, he's on his binger. He's out doing his thing. And he called me and he said, Jeremy, I'm back. My grandma's got my checkbook. What do I got to do to rebuild myself? And I was more excited about that meeting than I was about that CEO. And I said, what the heck has happened to me? When you focus on your people, your mission, say, Lord, I'm in for anything. And you put the right people around you, he will mold you guys in ways that you would never have even asked to be because he's got better plans that we can think of. This is where it all starts, all right? Y'all, I want to ask you right now, how many of y'all would like some coaching around this to help kind of pull these pieces together? Give me a yes in the chat. Would y'all want some coaching around this? Like, would it be helpful for you if somebody said, hey, let's do this right here. Let's figure this out. So here's what I'll do right now. Like, Brooke, go ahead and like drop my schedule. I literally, like, for the next 2 days, I've opened up my schedule. Me personally, I want to truly help you. Brooke's got my calendar link. Grab a spot, and I will work with you guys. There's 30-minute time slots. I'll work with you on these, okay? Bring your notes from this section, and we can accomplish more in 30 days, and maybe you have in 30 minutes than maybe you have in the last 30 days, maybe the last 3 years. Can you pull up the first PowerPoint slide? Here's what Crystal had to say. I think Crystal's actually on here too. We can accomplish a lot in a very short period of time. So guys, I'm not the kind of sales guy. I'm a publisher, okay? I'm called to do this thing. I want to help you. You can sign up for a coaching spot with me. Give me a yes if you're filling this out. You go to thronepga.com/book. We're going to keep this thing going. Yeah, yes, I see James, I see Ellen, and y'all, if you don't get a slot, like, don't get upset. I mean, I can do so many, but let us know. Reach out to somebody on my team. We'll see if we can work in the schedule. The next 2 weeks are pretty rough, but we got the next 2 days here. Find a time, and we'll go through this right here. This is where I start with every single author, okay? This is where it begins. So again, I want to say to you, if you feel like you're the dots, it's totally okay. And guess what? Once you get all the dots put together, God will take you to the next level, and you'll feel like another bunch of dots again. Because every time you get elevated, you have to refigure things out. I see a lot of yeses right there. Let me know. Ellen, they're going to drop a link. Go ahead and drop that link again. And this is totally free. There's no obligation. I don't care about that. I want to just know you feel called to write a book. I want to know you've been taking some notes here and you're doing some work on it, and bring what you can to the table, and we'll start to work with you, all right? I'll give you 30 minutes. You're going to get everything I got, and I'm going to give you 30 full minutes, all right? So here's the deal. Let's keep going into this. I want to, guys, let me know. Give me a yes. Has this helped you? What's some of your takeaways? Share them with the group. We're going to move to another phase. Let me know on this. And I want to stick here. Y'all, if you want this, I want to really know. I'm seeing some yeses. I don't know how many time slots I have. I want to fill them all up. All right, so if y'all want to be coached on this, I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to personally do these again. You're going to get time with me. Like, it's not going to be anybody on my team. You probably should be meeting. And next time I'm going to be on my team, they're going to be great people too. But I don't know how long I'm going to actually be able to do this. But I am going to do it right now. And I got the next 2 days. So I want to pour my heart into every single person who's showing up here. So if you want coaching on this, take the opportunity and just bring what you got. Bring what you got to the table, all right? Mary says yes. Pat says yes. Come on, Pat. I see you sitting here right here, man. You're the guy I'm looking at right here, Pat, all right? So, y'all, let me know if you are signed up. I see Bernice, Paula, Mary. Okay, this is good. Get into that link. Get signed up. We're going to keep going here, okay? I'm fired up to meet with you guys. All right, here we go. We're going to go to the next phase. Now, I want to know, should I do something cool? Should I, like, rip it up, or should I don't know. I'm just going to set it over here, okay? That's where it's going to go. Guys, how many of y'all are wondering, okay, I have all these ideas. I have all these stories. I know I'm called to do this. How do I find my best content? What's my next best book? Like, how many of y'all are struggling with, like, what should go in the book? What shouldn't go in the book? Give me a me. Say me in the chat if you're like, I'm struggling with this. Like, what should go in? How do I write my stories? Like, is it tough to figure out the content? All right, Ellen, that's awesome. I'm hearing a lot of me's. Gloria, Paula. Now, guys, and maybe some of you are saying, listen, I know I'm called to do this, but how do I actually, like, what do I say? What goes in the book? What should go on social media? What should go in structure? Bernice is talking about structure. How do I structure my content? Okay, you guys, if I give you, this is like the highest value I can give you right now, okay? This is the stuff that has taken us literally, me and Brooke, 14 years. And so let me share this with you now. This is the meat and potatoes. If you can take that, what I'm going to put to you right here, you guys can make this happen, okay? This will empower you to make this happen if you're struggling with this, which I see a lot of you are. Formula for my content. Dan, we got you right here. Here it is. So as I was interviewing people, right, I would interview them, and I would interview them about their book, and as they were talking, the writer would write. That's how we got books done. I would pull it out of them with an interview, okay? So imagine you're talking, a writer's writing. That's how the book gets done. Now, in that process, I interviewed, like I told you, over 500 people. And the interviews lasted at least 8 hours. They're marathon interviews. I did one just yesterday. And these interviews lasted 8 hours. And I've had some of them last into 30 plus hours. But here's what I noticed. I noticed that our life works in cycles like the earth works in seasons. And the better I can understand how these cycles work, the better I can understand my life, the better I can understand what God is telling me and asking me to do in my life, and the better I can tell the stories of what's happening, the better I can know what do I really have to offer that's unique to me. Because y'all, you don't want to just put out another book. You want to put out your very best content. Okay, so y'all know this. God has made you completely unique, right? Give me a hand up. Y'all know that. You believe that about yourself. Y'all, he gave you a story. It's unique to you. You want to put out a book that is just as unique to the market as you are in the eyes of the Lord. This is how we do this, though. Okay, so our life works in cycles, like the earth works in seasons. Now, I need to understand how the seasons of the earth work, right? Imagine if I didn't have that wisdom and I were to go outside and it's 20 below out and I didn't understand the seasons. I'd go out with flip-flops and a short and wonder why I'm so cold. Like, what's going on here? Think about, play this out with me a little bit. I could get pretty frustrated. I could say, Lord, I am out here trying to disciple people and my feet are falling off. I'm freezing. I could waste a ton of energy. I could say, let's get some heaters to follow me around, get a bunch of extension cords, waste all that energy, all that time, when really I just need to understand the seasons and I know to put on a big coat, some boots, all that good stuff, right? Our life works in cycles like the earth works in seasons. And as I understand these cycles, I can understand what to do with what God is doing in my life and what he has done, just like I can understand how to behave and what to do during the seasons, okay? Your life works in these cycles. What does the cycle look like? Y'all heard trust the process? You know, when you're going through something in your faith and people say trust the process. Give me a why if you've heard that before. Anybody heard that before? Let me know in the chat. Trust the process. Who has heard that before? Right? I'm seeing a lot of you have heard that before. Bernice, I see Jean. Give me a why. You know, you heard that? How many of you have asked, like, well, what is the process? Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? And if we understand this cycle, you're going to know when an idea is ready to be acted on. You're going to know when a story is ready to be told. You're going to know how to publish your book in a way that lands with your people and you can bring your very best self. That is what I want to help you do right now, is to identify and bring forth the very best content that God has given you. And you all have that, every single one of you. So here's what this cycle looks like, okay? It's like this. Y'all, if you're going to write anything down, this is the thing. I'm going to write it, okay? I'm not going to tease you anymore. Okay, all right. It goes like this. It's not a full circle. It's a cycle. This is a cycle that represents time. It's a cycle that represents a walk and an experience. Now, we call this the burn process. All right, this is an acronym, the burn process. Now, here's the thing, you guys. If you throw a bunch of materials into a fire, only the things of lasting value will withstand the flames, right? You're going to have diamonds, gold, and steel, right? Now, this is what you want to do with your life and your stories and your content. You're going to throw it into the fire so that the things of lasting value will withstand the flames and you can then bring them forward to the world. You're going to find the diamonds that display beauty in your testimony, the steel that gives strength to others, and the gold that is valuable and other people will transact for. Your diamonds, your gold, your steel. You got some. We're going to find it. It takes some time to sift through these things. So here's the burn process. Here's how this works. We're going to burn some of your content right now. So here's the B in burn. It stands for beginning. The B in burn is for beginning. Everything has a beginning. Now that may seem obvious, but you have new beginnings in one of two ways. One is a loss. The other is a leap. A loss is, this thing happened to me. I didn't ask for it, want it, earn it, or deserve it. Here it is to visit upon me. I don't want this thing, but I got to deal with it. And it sets you up on a new path. And y'all relate to that. Y'all had some losses in your life. I've had plenty. I think we all had a collective loss around this time last year with COVID. It set us up. That new beginning was a loss. It was very hard, very difficult, and it set us all up on a new path. Some of you may not even be here if it wasn't for that time period. It's a loss, okay? The other one is a leap. A leap is where we say, there's a mountain, I'm going to climb it. and I set a goal and I intentionally set myself up on a new path. Intentionally. It's not a loss, but you might give yourself losses. It's a leap. There's a goal. I'm going to go get it. It's a beginning, okay? You'll want to identify new beginnings in your life because you're going to see how it sets you up. You have a beginning. The next one, the U in burn, is urgency. Urgency. Didn't promise you I could spell. Urgency. This is now where we have to take action. We've had a new beginning. The loss, the leap, whatever it was, this person was here and now they're not. This thing I thought was true isn't. Or something that I have, I don't have. A new goal that I've set. Now I'm at a point of urgency. I need to do something. And I act out of volition. I choose to. Or I act out of necessity. I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stay here type of a moment. Y'all, and these moments require courage. Because whether you're choosing it or whether you're not, there's still fear, anxiety, and unknown. Okay? These moments require courage. Y'all, we're going to come back to this. Your readers are right here. Okay? But you have urgency. Guys, how many of y'all are feeling this? You've been in an urgent moment, okay? I can see some heads nodding right here. This is the burn. Now, here's the most important part. This is where we're going to pull your book out of. Then we move into a place called refinement. You refine. This is the biggest part of this whole cycle. You get refined in 3 ways. The first way is through street lessons. These are lessons you learn in the streets. Out there, you got to get blood, sweat, and tears. You learn them out there because you got to. The richest man ever lived, King Solomon, says, wisdom is in the streets, at the highest points of the city, shouting the simple-minded, inviting them to this banquet that he likened to wisdom. It's free, it's available, but it's out there. And y'all got some street lessons. Here's the thing about refinement. We have it, but you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. We need somebody to look in and say, do you realize this? Because check this out, guys. The things that are the most natural and normal to you, you think they're natural and normal to everybody, but they're not. This is also called the curse of knowledge. You think, guys, you all know this. We're all the same way. I'm the same way right now. I'm working on my next book right now. I'm the same way. We discredit the things and the ideas that come most naturally to us because we think they come most naturally to everybody else, and they don't. That is a lie. Okay? Street lessons. Second way is street skills. These are the skill sets you develop as you walk this path. You get forged into new skill sets, whether you choose to, whether you had to figure it out. Now check this out. If we were all thrown into the jungle, okay, we're going to all die or we're going to become survival experts. All right? That's how we naturally develop these skills when we need them. Here's the thing. I am no handyman. Like we literally have, I feel bad every time I mention this. We've got a light in our living room that's broke. It needs to be fixed. I put a lamp there like 2 years ago. So I'm not a handyman, guys. The lamp's working great, by the way. I'm not a handyman. But if we're in the jungle and you see a lion 100 yards that way, I'm going to have a knife made in 10 seconds, right? Now, in the moment, play with me here. In the moment, if you were to ask me, Jeremy, how'd you make that knife? I'd be like, Pat, dude, I'm trying to survive. And then Pat throws me in front of him and takes off running. No, I'm trying to survive. Don't ask me how I'm doing it right now. I'm in the story right now. Don't ask me. Now, if it was 6 months down the road and me and Pat were sitting down in coffee and he said, Jeremy, you remember when you made that knife in the jungle? I say, yeah. He'd say, how did you do that? And if he helped me, we could reverse engineer what happened. And a lot would come from that. Here's a way of how you too can make a knife. Here's how I can make a knife again. I could, and however you want to scale that, guys, this is where the business models come from. I could just say to my family, sons, here's how you make a knife if you find yourself in the jungle. I could write a book about how to make a knife. I could create a manufacturing process around how I made that knife and manufacture them at scale. It's whatever you want to do with the assets God has given you according to the skills that you have and the people you have around you. Street skills. And y'all remember, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. These are the ways that authors go from writing a book to building a whole business, to going from sharing a message to building a whole ministry. I've seen it happen over and over again. That's always our end goal with books. They're just the entry point into the game. Okay? Now here's the third way you get refined. Divine appointments. The right person at the right time with the right word. And as you look back on your life, you didn't realize it in the moment, but as you look back, you say, had I not run into that person, I don't know what I would have done. They deposited something in you. Y'all know this. I see Ellen gets it. Y'all got divine appointments in your life. They deposited something in you that you now can share and bring forth. There's also people that show up in your life that are divine appointments that you helped. This is your call. There's where God's calling you guys. When people show up in your life and you go, you know what? I don't know why, but I just love this person. They're really inconvenient. They're expensive. They don't even really like me. It's like they hurt me too. Like the most inconvenient times, but I love them. It's like God's given me a love for them that I didn't create within myself. There's some calling right there, guys. Those are divine appointments for you too. Street lessons, street skills, divine appointments. This is the refinement period of our lives. This is how when we sit and we look at these cycles in your life, and you all got cycles. Y'all in a couple right now. You've been through many. Some of you got some big ones. Okay, this is how we tell. How do we tell this story? Okay, so refinement. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm getting excited here. Refinement is where it's at. This is what we want to look at. Now, here's the last part. The N in burn is newness. Newness. Something in your life has been made new. A new result, a new part of yourself that is now developed. You're in newness. You've walked the walk. You've been there, done that. It's at a conclusion now. It's finalized. Sometimes it's a good finalization. Sometimes it's not, but it's over. It's done. I've achieved it. We also call this fullness. You have fullness of the experience. You walk the walk. You made it through. You're on the other side, and you're looking back saying, here's what I've learned. You have the fullness of the experience. You have the fullness of the skill set. You did what you need to do to make it through that time period. Fullness of the skill set, and then you have the fullness of the Spirit. There is an anointing that takes place on people when they walk through the experiences like this. There's an anointing here where I might say the same thing you say, but it lands when you say it because your words have weight. This is where the authenticity comes in. You will speak right from your life story. I'm giving you guys like exactly what I do with authors because I'm like, this is the real deal. And I could like beat my chest and slam my hand on a desk saying, if you do this, it will work. I can guarantee that it'll work. I only talk from newness. You only want to write from newness, where you have total fullness of the Spirit, total newness in your life. This is where it's at, okay? This is where you want to get to. You want to identify these places of newness. Y'all, who wants to find out their places of newness and who's got them? Give me a hand up. Give me a Y in the chat. Give me something here, you guys. This is the thing. This is newness. Now, guys, here's the deal. I want to bring somebody else up here. I'm going to share this with you because for years I've been sitting down with people one-on-one and walking them through and identifying these things. There's a guy named Verge Young. If y'all can find Verge, let's like bring him up here. Verge did this. You'll see his book back here. Verge wrote On the Verge. I love this man. He's a mentor of mine. He's a friend. He's literally like a minute down the road. Verge wrote On the Verge, which is very smart, Verge. I love you, man. And guys, start thinking of some questions that you're going to have for me because we're going to open up for Q&A here in a second. I want to do some coaching. I'm going to stay on here till we're done, till we get your questions answered. So, Verge, y'all, can you tell us what it was like? Can you give us what was it like seeing your life like this, and what did this do for your book? I'd love to hear from you, buddy.
Yeah, so many things are going through my head when you're doing that. The thing that I can say is it's all been said before, and that's the thing I like about it is it's not just a process, but it's a proven process. I mean, and this is the one that everybody follows, and for me it was so revealing. When I went into at the start of it, I thought, oh man, I'm really a boring guy. I think I'm in the wrong place here. And as we go through that burn cycle, it just uncovers so much that I don't think naturally you would do yourself. And, there's a lot of procedures out there and books are full of things and all that kind of stuff, but a process that is transferable is a treasure because you can actually follow the process and then you can take that process to somebody else and they go through the same process. And it's just, yeah, Jeremy, you're walking the talk. It is exactly how you say it. And this is one of the most pleasurable things I went through for myself and for my audience.
Verge, I so appreciate you coming on here, man. I appreciate this. I love working with you. Verge is an in-house consultant for us. Like, we've just become close friends. And guys, you know, when I so appreciate you. So thank you for coming on, Verge. Thank you for sharing that. And I remember sitting with Verge. Bring up a couple of those, that slide again. I want to like go through this, guys. Here's what we're going to do. You know, this was some of the testimonials coming from people who, what we have done, I've always done this one-on-one with people where I sit down with their, for a whole day with them, and we identify these cycles in their life, and then we make a book outline based on that. We call it a blueprint, okay? Y'all want to remember this. Your next step is to make that outline, that blueprint. And we're gonna do it a lot more intensely because you're gonna identify it right from your life. Here's what you want to remember. An outline well done is a book half written. An outline well done, or a blueprint, as we call them, is a book half written. Okay? When people have walked through this, here's one of Denny and Carrie Allen. You know, people say it's one of their greatest experience or most clarifying moments. We've got a lot of testimonials like this, guys. Here's one from Jordan Loftus. Here's what I want to say to you. Here's what we're going to do. So I've never done this before, okay? Like, you guys are literally the first people ever hearing about this, because I was like, every time somebody goes through this, it changes their life. It for sure makes their book better. It clarifies their call, and it's what somebody needs to do in order to set their book up to win, to make a full, complete outline. All right? So here's what we're going to do. And I'm going to ask you what you guys think you need here in a second, what you want me to give you. But here's what we're going to do. Let me know the dates, Brooke. I think it's the 27th and 28th. It's a Thursday and a Friday. We're going to do a 2-day workshop where I'm going to walk you through these burn cycles, and we're going to make your book outline. You're going to walk away with a completed full book outline. And I'm not talking about a little one. I'm talking about a 20-page plus book blueprint. An outline well done as a book half written. Okay? You're seeing some of these testimonials here of what happens when people go through this. Y'all, if you're wanting to get your book done, this is how it begins. Now we're going to do a 2-day workshop. I've never done this before. So I did this just yesterday with somebody. It cost $7,500 to sit down for a day and have me do this with you. $7,500. I'm not going to charge that for this. We're going to charge it right now. I'm going to put up the price and everything up here. And y'all know this, like, we didn't make a bunch of pretty slides and stuff. I'm like, let's just tell people exactly what we're going to do. Let's give them exactly what they're going to need. So here's what you're going to need. Here are the elements of this blueprint. Okay, it's a 2-day workshop. We're going to do this in the workshop, or you can take this and do this on your own. Here are the elements you need. You need to have, one, a mission and thesis statement. A mission and thesis statement. The mission is, here's what my mission is for this book. The thesis is, here's the number one idea I'm trying to get across with this book. You need the mission and the thesis statement. Number 2, you need your goals and the reader's goals. You need 3 of your primary goals for the book. Here are my 3 goals. And here are the 3 goals that my readers, when my reader gets done reading this book, here's what I want them to be saying about it. Here's what I want the book to help them do. All right? Once you have your reader goal, you want to have a clear idea of your audience. Now, here's the thing. You remember the cycle, guys? Your audience is in the cycle. You want to know your audience's story like the cycle, so you know where to hit them at. You know where to read. Your audience has a cycle. Your audience has a story. You want to know your audience's story. There's a primary and a secondary audience. There's a strategy to this. You want to know your audience. We'll show you how to do this, all right? Your audience, then you want to have your thematic structure. You're going to have your thematic structure down. These are the 3 core concepts of your book. It's the story arc of your whole book. These 3 concepts will also become workshops and keynotes that you'll do in the future. You want to have a thematic structure, your 3 core concepts. Next thing is you want to have your table of contents. Your basic table of contents, and we'll show you how to start with a big long list and whittle it down to your 10 chapters. Okay? Some of y'all are like, okay, I can't get to 10. Some of y'all are like, I got way more than 10. 10's a good starting point. You want to have your table of contents, and then you're going to have what we call the 4 pillars. the 4 pillars of an outline. This will tee you up, guys, so that writing your book will be as easy as answering questions. You want to be able to set your book up so you're not trying to write to sound good. You're answering questions from your readers, and you're speaking to that person. You're speaking to that reader. And you can either write your book out or you can talk your book out and give it to a writer and say, go ahead and write this. So it's going to empower you to either write it all out, or it's going to empower you to speak it out and hand it to a writer. We have plenty of people who can do that stuff for you too, guys. This is how you do it. This is the bare bones of a blueprint. And it's just like this. Think about if you were going to build a house or a building. What would be the first step, right? You would get a blueprint made. And here's the key. When you have the blueprint, you can hand it to the talent, to the workers, and say, here's your plans, build this for me. It's how you enroll a team to help you. Y'all authors should not be just doing this on your own. You need the right people around you to do this. The blueprint lets the talent know this is what this person's trying to accomplish. So you get the right cover design done. Your editor gets exactly the way you want it done. You get it, it's the vision that you want. You got to have the blueprint so the talent knows what to do. Y'all feel me on this one? You got to have the blueprint. Don't think of yourself as just a writer. You're an author and entrepreneur. This is your calling made into an outline, made into a blueprint that you're going to bring forward into the world. All right? So guys, we're doing this 2-day workshop. Brooke, if you would drop the link, we're going to do this. What is it, $697? So typically, this would be to have me do this with you, $7,500. We're going to do this for $697. And you can do a 2-payment option. So Brooke's going to drop the links in the chat. We can do a 2-payment monthly option. I want to make this as easy as possible for you guys. $697. Like literally, you're the ones hearing this. I'm not going to go put this out on social. I'm not going to send this out via email. This is just for you guys for right now. And you can click these links, get signed up for this. This is what we have going on. Okay? So y'all, if you want to walk through the cycles of your life and look at that burn process, if y'all want to identify, I'm called to go this way. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know a book is part of it. Y'all, I can promise you, we'll give everybody a money-back guarantee. You're going to know exactly where you're going next after this workshop. I'm going to spend 2 days with you, and I'll tell you this. Like, I'm just going to stay there until we get it done. That's just what I do. Like, we're going to go into Q&A here in a second. Let's give me a yes if some of you are signing up for this thing. Let me know. I want to see who's signing up right now. Let me know. Give me a drop a yes to see if this is landing for any of you. And guys, what else do you want? Y'all, what do you want? What would you want me to teach you in 2 days that you think will help you become more successful? What do y'all want? Go ahead and unmute yourself or write it in the chat. What do you need that'll help you get your book done? What do y'all think you need? Let's go through this. What is your biggest struggle? I can see this isn't landing yet. I want to get to this with you guys. What are you struggling with? Paula is motivation. Organizing thoughts. Okay, awesome. What else, guys? What are you struggling with? The blueprint is going to make you organized to write, but it's also going to be, guys, I will teach you how to repurpose this and make a marketing plan using the outline, the blueprint. Time management. Okay, so what if I were to add on here, here is how successful writers who complete work on time management. I'm going to put on time management for authors. Time management for authors. We're going to talk about this. Affordability, money. So you need to, so I'm hearing this, y'all, and let me know if this is you. I need the money, man. I got to make some money with this. Y'all, let me know. Is that you? Raise your hand up. So here's the thing. If you have a blueprint, I can teach you how to cash flow and acquire more customers or donors or whatever that looks like for you. I can show you how to get cash before the book's done. Not by being like slimy or sneaky. I can show you customer acquisition using just your blueprint, your message. Because remember the diamonds, the gold, the steel? We need to find your gold. And if you're wondering, what am I going to have to offer? I don't know. If you're saying money is the problem, guys, money is the easiest problem to solve. Here's why. Money is an easy problem to solve because you can count it. You can count money. If you were to say to me, Jeremy, listen, I would love to sign up for this thing. I think it would be great. But here's the problem. I'm a liar. Like, I just lie. I don't know why I just lie a lot. I would be like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. That's a really bad problem. Like, that's a big, expensive problem to have. Y'all know what I mean? A character problem is complex. It's expensive. It takes a long time. Money is an easy problem to solve. So I could help you. Let's do cash flow strategies. And I'm going to call it a 48-hour cash flow strategy. If you get your blueprint, we can say, okay, in the next 2 days, how can you generate some cash in the next 2 days? I'm going to do a 48-hour. We have all this stuff in place, you guys. It's the craziest, funnest stuff. It's about understanding your place of newness. And then now what do I do with this thing? Y'all, would this help? Cash flow plan, 48 hours? Some of y'all, if you're signed up for coaching, let's talk about that. We can help you there. Cash flow strategies, I'm hearing that from Adele. Angie, you can't do May dates. We'll work on that. Let us know in the future. I don't know when we'll be doing this again, though. I've never done this in a group setting, and I've been thinking about this, guys, for years. I'm like, every time somebody goes through this workshop, they create their blueprint, it changes their life. How do I not just do it one-on-one, though? And we've figured that out. Like, we're going to do this in a group, okay? So $697 one time. Brooke, drop those links again, guys. And you can do a 2-payment option, guys. This is what we're going to be doing. Y'all, let me know. Ellen says this would help. Cash flow strategies, guys. What else do you need? Anybody? I want to open up for some Q&A right now, y'all. You go ahead and unmute yourself. Raise your hand, and we'll call on you. Norma. Who's got a question? Go ahead and raise your hand, y'all. What do you feel like, what's next? If you got a question about what's next for me. We got Bernice. Go ahead and raise your hand, guys. You got to raise your hand with the thing. I can't see all of y'all. Diane, thanks for coming. Good to see you. I'm going to be talking to you on Friday. Y'all, let me know. I want to help y'all do this, all right? I sincerely mean this. So I'm thinking here, we're going to spend 2 days together, and we're just going to get in the weeds. Now, the 2 days, we have some time slots from 9 to 3. It's 9 a.m. to 3. If you go to that link there, you'll see kind of all the details. We're going to just get it done. I want to help you get this blueprint done. And even if you've already started writing and everything, guys, having this blueprint is going to organize yourself so you can move forward. And this is the key, guys. The burn cycle is how it will save you thousands of dollars in publishing. Because when you can burn your story, burn your content, burn your ideas, here's the thing, is it will make your stories, it'll make your content more focused, which means a more concise book. Let me show you this. Here's Verge's book. Y'all, see how thin this thing is? It's 140 pages or so. It's hard to write a book 140 pages. It's easy to write a book that's 300 pages. Mark Twain said, if I had more time, the letter would be shorter. Okay, I'm getting some questions coming in the chat right now. But y'all, here's the thing. We've got to burn your story and your ideas to make it concise. The blueprint is going to do that for y'all. I promise you this is going to do this for you. Okay? We need to do this. So I'm going to start answering some questions right now. What does it cost for editing and publishing service after it's written? We can talk about that if you're signed up for the coaching call. I'll tell you this, guys. If you do if you look at the Awaken workshop, the link right there, that's $697. I will use that as a credit for you for any other work you do with Throne. So you go through it, you make your blueprint. That's a credit. You'll get all that money back. All right, so it can be a wash for you because it really depends on how big your book is. Some people can get a book published with a couple thousand books. Some people, we've done books for a lot higher than that. It really depends on the quality you want and the size of your book, okay? Bernice says, how do you get past life situations in order to finish what you've started? I've been writing every day for 5 years now. Bernice, if you don't have a coaching session set up, like let's talk about that. Guys, if you don't feel like you're making a lot of progress, I am going to write this down again. I want to pull this back up, y'all. You got to know, you got to be able to identify when you do this cycle, right? You're ending with newness. If you're just writing and it's not quite done and I'm like talking about my life, you got to identify where is the newness that you want to speak to people from and stay right there. Guys, when you do this, this is going to save you so much money in the writing phase. It's going to save you money with editing. It's going to save you money with printing. And here's the big factor, y'all, is time. Like, if we go through this workshop in May, you're going to get your book done this year. If you've been working for 5 years, Bernice, it's time. Let's do this thing. You're going to get that book done this year. Now, imagine if we did it in August or in September. Now you're looking at a 2022 launch. And y'all, the thing about that is now you're going to miss all the opportunities this year has provided for you. If you get your book done this year, it's going to completely change 2022. So I want to encourage you guys, whether you work with us or not, get your book done. Get it done this year. So what we want to do is we want to identify your cycles of newness. And you want to speak into these only because y'all got a lot of stories, you got a lot of content, a lot of ideas. And that's the whole plan here is we want to burn it down so it's your very, very best. Just because I can say it doesn't mean I should in a book. You want to make it when you're speaking from newness, every page they pick it up is going to hit them. Does that make sense, Bernice? Let me know if you have a follow-up to that. How many, Nancy says, how many hours per day is the average writer to write and how many words per day? I mean, here's where I would start. Don't start writing unless you have a blueprint. Because here's the deal. When you're doing the blueprint, guys, you're going to process what you want to say. You're going to process your stories. You're going to burn things. And you're going to realize some things are valuable that you didn't think, and some things you're going to leave it in the ashes, in the dust, back there. You're not pulling it into the new stuff. All right? So you want to, it's not about how many words and how many on average you're going to write. That's per individual. I've had people make their blueprint, guys, and they had their book done in 4 days. They got it written in 4 days. Like that happens. Y'all could like get your book done on Memorial Day weekend. Like you could get it written. Some of y'all can do that. If you can get the time, you can get it done that weekend if you want to. But here's the thing. You want to first process, create the blueprint, and then begin to write. Because when people are processing while they're writing, that makes a story that could be told in 1 page become 10 pages. And your reader knows that. Y'all read a book and you're like, man, this thing could have been over like 50 pages ago. So making that blueprint and that hardcore, the chapter by chapter breakdown that goes into a blueprint lets you process through what you want to write and how you want to say it. And then you go into the writing process and you want to have the right people around you. You want to have a community around you to do that. Because you all know, here's what you're going to run into. It's the war of art. The war of art. You're going to have a battle. You're called and you're hunted. You're called and you're hunted. There's a part of you that wants to do this, wants to grow. God wants you to do that. And there's another part, Satan, the big bad guy, the evil guy, doesn't want this to happen. He wants you to live in the lie, live in the place of, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, who am I to do this? Y'all, if money is the problem for you to go through this workshop, put my email in the chat. Send me an email. We're going to figure this money thing out. If it only thing is money, send me an email. We can help you make money from between now and the workshop. Maybe that's what we should do. Like we could do that. I want to know what you guys want because we're going to deliver it for you. Put my email in the chat. Send me an email. Put the word money in the subject line. Money is an easy problem to solve. We're going to put money in its proper place. Okay? I love y'all, but I'm going to help you put money in its proper place. Hey, I have someone raising their hand. Tweet Media.
Hello, yes, I'm Tweetia Media.
Hey, welcome. What's your
How
question?
are you? Question, I have 3 children's books that are already written, I guess you could say. The rough draft of it hasn't been seen by an editor or anything. So my first thing is, I am a teacher, so I kind of know, what kids like and things like that. And then I am also a mother. I wanted to work on getting those published initially, but then I definitely want to dig deeper with you on like an autobiography or something like that, or like a life journey type of book. But initially, would you be able to just help like with the publishing of the 3 books that I already have written?
For sure, and we still, like, even you, thanks for asking this question. Great question. Great job. Glad to hear you're out there speaking into the youth. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
Here's the thing.
And I'm a patriot. Woohoo!
Come on now. Salute to you. Make sure we got your.
That's
name
right.
and number. Come on now. I love it. We need you to do this thing. We need you to
Yes.
be pouring into the youth like you are.
God's
Here's the
been
thing we
calling
gotta
me.
do. Oh,
Yes.
come on now. Let's do this. We gotta first say you got 3 books. Even you, the blueprint phase. We got to make the
Yes.
plan, because you're going to have to pick one first.
Okay.
And we're going to pick your very best book, and you're going to go
Okay.
to town with it. You're going to get a
Okay.
bunch of testimonials from parents. You're going to get a bunch of people, pictures, sources. We got to make a whole media so that the first book sets up the next 2.
Got
And
it.
what you're going to do, the vein you're going to, you're touching a deep well right now. There's a lot of parents like us who love our country, love the Lord, want to pour into the youth, saying, where are the resources? Where are the assets? So it's more than the book for you. It's your personality and your brand saying, I love our country. I love the Lord. Here is how I'm speaking that into the youth. You're the person that's going to sell the books. You're the person we're going to want to follow. You just so happen to have some books done. So the thing I would want to talk about with you is, what's the business model around this for you? Okay? So
Okay.
y'all, I want you all to hear this too, because this is for you. It's not just the books, it's the business around what you're going to be doing. It's the speaking engagements, it's the coaching programs. You could have a parenting coaching program. You could have yeah, make sure you got to schedule time with me. You could have a mentorship program. And here's the big thing I think you should do is you should have a group setting of homeschooling parents down this niche who can all get together, who can go through your book together, so you could have a parent guide too of, how do I do this as a parent? How do I use this book as a parent? And also, me as a parent, how do I do this too? You know what I'm saying? So I would want to talk to you about your first book, but it's going to depend on, guys, and a lot of you, this is your way. What's the end goal? Do you want to be a teacher forever? Or do you want to be a teacher in a new space? You know what I'm saying? You want to be a teacher teaching to people as a speaker, as a mentor, as a parent empowerer, as an influencer out there. There's your business model. That'll inform us on the first book that you should do. Because you got a lot of books. I want to help you do that. I got an illustrator for you too. Like, we got a phenomenal illustrator.
That's awesome, because it's all about diversity as well.
Yes.
It's and I actually signed up for a slot tomorrow at I think 11, so we can discuss the details and which books you think might be the best to start out with.
I can't wait for that.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for taking
Awesome.
action.
Thank you so much. You and your wife, your beautiful wife. Thank you.
Oh yeah, this is our pleasure. This is our absolute pleasure. And here's the thing, guys. This is a lot of you. The book is your first step. It's also about everything else around the book. This is where we built our business at, guys. We help people get books done. That's easy. That's like, let's check the box and get it done. I want to help you do, let's pull this back up. If this is a big problem, I can help you guys monetize what you're doing, this message. And not just like, let's make some money. I'm like, no, let's create a package that's so valuable to your audience, they'll pay you a high dollar amount to get access to you. You know, Media, who just came up here, 3 author books, there's going to be parents who are going to be like, I want to be an intentional parent about this. I want to actively, intentionally raise up the next generation. I would pay to get access to you. You're a teacher, you got the background, you got the whole thing. There's a model there for you. And you could have some customers before your book ever gets out. That's why, hey, there's that big guy. What's up, dude? Good to see you. So here's the deal. Is y'all want to do this. When we make the blueprint, out of that's going to come gold, diamond, steals. Certainly going to apply to your book and a business. So who's a yes that's want to build a business or a ministry around your book? Give me a yes in the chat. If y'all are wanting to build a business, I see Earl saying yes. I see White, Gloria, Paula. Okay, so here's what we're also going to do. We're going to do this. Business model design. Now, business model design is a fancy way to say, how are you going to attract customers? How are you going to make it as a business, as a ministry, or both. Like y'all, this is our ministry and business both. Like it's all a big, huge mess of stuff. Business model design. So Marge, so Bernice, so Charlie, so Elaine, you know, we can figure this out, how to make a business model around it. So it's not just the book. Everybody puts so much pressure on the book launch. And I think maybe that's what I'm seeing here that I'm not communicating is, guys, the book is one small piece of a bigger thing. This blueprint is going to get your book outline done, but it's also going to get your plan for what's next. You're going to know what's coming next for you. So we're going to show you how to do business model design. If you can share with me what your message is, I can help you make a model that you can make an income from that. Now, it might not be this. Like some of you are called to do ministry. You won't monetize the ministry. That's not the right thing to do. You'll learn how to make money around that in other ways, though. Like I help people in ministry all the time. I'm called to do this, but these people can't pay me anything. Great. Don't ever ask them for money. Let's build a business model that goes right alongside what you're doing in ministry. That's the problem people make when they're in ministry and they're trying to make money, like they want to make a living doing it. You don't monetize the people you're ministering to. There's other ways to monetize. You know, when I was mentoring the young men, I had a ministry called Warrior for young men, and I had a consulting company over here for companies that hired those young men to help them retain them. That was the monetization strategy. I didn't ask these guys for money. They didn't have no money. And that's okay. Over here, I went to some businesses. Like a little dance I just made up there. I went to the businesses over here, and I made the money there, and they also love the young men. There was a value exchange happening, y'all. You can do that in your ministry even. And it was an easier way to fund the ministry than just going out for donations all the time. Is anybody on here a ministry, like in ministry, and you want to use your book, or you want to, donations is something that you need, an issue that you have, a challenge you need to overcome? Let me know. Ellen, you want to use it in small groups at church. Okay, so here's the deal. When you have your blueprint in place, what's going to help you to do is when you are making that blueprint and you see your blueprint has a chapter by chapter breakdown. So just like you create a mission statement for your book, you're going to create a mission statement for every chapter. You're going to outline the main idea you want to get across in every chapter. We're going to get right down to how many words should be in each chapter. Okay, you get really detailed about it. Then we're going to say, what are the questions you want people to ask that I would use to facilitate a small group conversation at the end of every chapter? Then you've got a small group guide built into your book. And then we show you how to say, not just go out and have one person buy your book at a time. How can groups buy your book at a time? You know, groups 7, 8, 9, 10. I could pull one off the chart here if I had it. I created a book called Warrior, and it could be used. So I had 7 chapters. Each chapter can be read in 7 minutes. It was for young men struggling. I put questions at the end of every chapter, guys. And I put questions at the end of every chapter so that you could use it in a mentorship relationship. You know, you could give your mentee the book, and then you guys would discuss the questions. It was reflective for the reader. The reader could just reflect what the questions, right? But then it was for a small group. If you're going to use the book for a small group, you can use the questions to facilitate that, and we create a small group package. You bought 10 books, you got 10 t-shirts, and you got invite cards to spread the word for other groups. Like Tweedia Media, that's what you could do with your First Children book. Create an opportunity for people to use small groups, but you got to sell that package to them. And then when you're getting started, every small group that starts up, you could join them for their first Zoom. Or you could join them for whatever, like their third or their fourth Zoom. You know, you could be there with them in some way, shape, or form. Everybody loves that from the author. Now that's part of your launch package. And you're getting in front of readers. You're pouring into your people. Gloria, children's ministry books for churches for parents who have suffered, kids with special needs. I'm a writer and an illustrator. That's awesome. And here's what you want to do, Gloria. You want to really dive into what is the story of the people of my readers? Like what are they going through? Y'all, so when we go back to this, when we're talking about this day, this is the cost for this 2 days with me. Now you can split this up into 2 payments. We're going to make all of these things. When you guys have this stuff and you can look at this right in front of you, you're going to be able to see where you're going to go next. We're going to help you target your best plan of action moving ahead. Yes, this is going to get your book done. But guys, look at this. Like when you know your audience, these are your customers for your business. These are the best donors. And then it's about, okay, now how do I actually reach out to those customers? We're going to talk about that.